Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you, and this episode brought to you by Martin, Jean, and Jackson, attorneys at law. With us today is baseball head coach Grant Middlebrooks, and great to have you along, man, as always. And we got a lot of stuff to get into. Let's start it off that you've had some pretty good weather as far as getting some practices, and scrimmage season now officially is beginning.
Absolutely. It's been great because we've been able to inter-squad and go live and pitch against each other to where this part of the year is the doldrums. You've worked through August, and now we're out of the doldrums, and February 15th here. But normally those doldrums, you're spinning inside in the cold weather, and you kind of get bored.
Yeah.
Our kids haven't had the opportunity to get bored as much as normal years. And so from that side, we're ready to go against somebody that's not us.
Yeah.
We're ready to see other people that's not us. So we start tomorrow. February 15th is our first scrimmage at Midwest City. Bixby at Bixby on Friday, at Stillwater on Saturday, and then the next week it's Deer Creek. All of our games are on the road. Deer Creek, Perry, Jinx, Blackwell, Bartlesville.
Okay.
Bartlesville. Those are our 8 for varsity.
All right, you got through your first year, and now in your second year,
Yes.
and usually when you get into your second year, I think things get a little easier. You know the kids a little better, know what they have, and it always changes, don't get me wrong. But what do you see after your first year, and what have you adjusted maybe going into the second year?
I'm telling you, last year our kids bought in, but at the same time, you just don't have some of the kids that long enough to make that impact on them, to get them to see, and sometimes you're just outgunned, and sometimes you just understand how kids respond. This year, our freshmen from last year are now sophomores, and they were a big class.
Mm-hmm.
That group of sophomores that we have, you're going to see some kids step up and take the next step, and especially from arms, but also, at short, we're replacing Jackson Testa. Defensively, the best shortstop I've ever had. We're replacing Grant Harmon, the best athlete I've ever coached. We're replacing Jacob Leonard, who's just worked hard. And so we're replacing 2 or 3, but last year we were replacing everybody, including coaching staff.
Right.
And getting our ways. And so, yes, it's been easier trying to find ways to make sure that our kids understand what our goals are. What are we planning on doing? And how do we nurture the sophomores into this role that they're about to see a level of baseball that they haven't ever seen.
Yeah, and they play some JV ball, but now that you have sophomores, this is going to be one of those seasons you may take some lumps early, but you're going to be a lot better a couple of months in.
Yeah, and we'll take some lumps, especially district play, but we still have Brody.
Yeah.
We still have Aiden Howard. So we're returning our 2 best arms. We're returning our better bats. We're returning 6 starters off last year. So the sophomores are not going to be expected to be elite for us. They're just fill pieces.
Yeah.
And then if they become and grow and nurture throughout the year, they're playing their best baseball at the end of the year. So, but we still have Titan Butte returning at third. We still have Brody, who's, 1-1 with a sub-2 ERA last year. If we could have hit for him, we would have won 5-6 extra games. Aiden Howard shut down Bixby for us last year, and it gave us a chance in regionals. Teagan caught 41 games last year. Hadn't caught a varsity game until last year. He caught 41 games for us.
Yeah.
Colton Jones never played in the outfield until last year, and he played 41
Yeah, you
games.
saw them grow throughout the season.
And that's it. And so now we're expecting those guys to take the next step and help Isaiah Brandstetter start 30 games as a freshman.
Yeah.
Lance Arbona is a guy that pitched for us last year and played some bit part pieces. So all those guys, those young guys got opportunities, but our juniors that are now seniors, they should be ready to go. They should know what this game is about.
All right, 6A, there's a lot of good arms, and you just mentioned something, not being able to hit.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that, goes back to that 90s commercial with Greg Maddox and Smoltz and all those guys, chicks dig the long ball, right?
Yeah.
That's what they always
absolutely.
said. But high school baseball, you have to be able to get them on, get them over, and get them in, and that can be a big, big difference in the game. So how are you guys working on the batting? Because in high school baseball, those guys that can get over the fence, they're kind of few and far between. You've got to be able to just get the guys on base and move them over.
Last year we got them on. Sand Springs, who was a regional host and won our district last year, at home, it's a 2-0 game in the 5th. We've got bases loaded and less than 1 out. and we strike out, and we strike out, and now again, and then
Right.
in the seventh inning we have the same opportunity, and we're down 2-0, and we punch out.
You can have a good batting average, but if your timely hitting isn't there, you don't win.
And that's where I think we're going to be better with our guys being a year in. With all those guys that didn't play varsity baseball as sophomores, that are juniors, that had to step up and see the level of baseball that they'd never seen before. Now they've seen it. Now we expect them to produce.
Yeah.
Last year we expected them to produce and we didn't.
Yeah.
But this year we expect them to produce. And we're small ball. We bunt, we run, we do those things. And it's so interesting because, people start getting scouting reports on us, and their third baseman would play so far in. They're trying to take the bunt game away from us.
Yeah.
And so, like Bixby, and we do a slash, and it's still right to them, and they throw us out at the plate. So we've got to find a way to come up with situational hitting. And we've been working. Our kids have been swinging it a lot better this year. We've made a lot of growth. Last year we struck out a lot, even in the inter squads. This year the strikeouts are less. We've worked on those things. We got another hack tech to mimic velocity. We've got we've changed some drills for timing, but we've just hit a lot.
Well, and, going to high school baseball, you don't see it pro and college as much, but just getting the ball in play.
Yeah, it's everything.
Because if you get the ball in play and make that defense go make a play, you'll be surprised how many times the defense doesn't make the play, and that turns into a run that can win the game.
Put pressure on people. Can they play catch? Now, 6A level, they play catch.
A lot of them
good.
can, yeah.
It's not 3A, 4A where we can fake bunt until we get a strike and
Right.
put pressure on
yeah.
people that way. We have to put the ball in play. We have to run hard. We have to capitalize on mistakes and not make mistakes. And so you're absolutely right. We just got to put the ball in play. We struck out. I mean, we talked about it before the regional. I haven't been a part of a team that struck out as much as we did last year. I mean, our leadoff struck out quite a bit, and then the 2-hole struck out quite a bit, and the 3-hole struck out quite a bit, and the 4-hole. I mean, it was literally a case of everybody just continuously missing barrels. And granted, Wausau has 2 arms above 86, 87 on Monday.
Right, yeah.
Sand Springs has 2 dudes above 85, 86. And then and this year it's not going to be any easier.
No.
So we've got to make adjustments in our swing, and our kids have. Now we'll see if the results.
Well,
but our kids have been working hard.
That can lead to the next thing, from year 1 to year 2, being at this level in 6A, and you've been at some smaller levels. What'd you learn?
Just the level of baseball. I mean, luckily, I was at Norman, so I knew a little bit.
Right.
But even the difference between the west side and the east side are two different worlds. Because on the west side, everybody had an arm. And then the top teams had multiple.
Right.
But over here, everybody has 2,
Yeah.
3. And so you're just like, okay, if we get this guy off the mound, we'll have a chance. And no.
They bring in the next guy.
They bring in the next dude. And so for us, I learned that just be patient. Continue to improve. There's some things that we're trying to work on from the mental side of the game and get better at those side, and continue the next pitch mentality, and what are our goals? Don't ever quit. And last year we made those adjustments to where, we didn't quit. We played hard.
You built your foundation.
We were in games. We lost 15 games last year by 3 runs or less. Yeah. We were there. We had games. Now we got to capitalize and win those games and have those opportunities to continue to build the program forward.
All right. Districts, it depends. They redistrict every couple of years, and, some sports will do it 1 year, some sports will do it. You guys are in a redistrict year, so talk about the retooled district, and do you like it? Or not?
It's not easy. Last year there were some games where you're sitting there and you can circle like 1,000% we're winning those games, or we'll have a chance to win those games. And this year there's some games in there, but there's a lot of tough ones. It's we got Bixby, the defending state champs. Mm-hmm. We got Enid, the defending state runner-up. Union won 32 games last year and hosted a regional. Broken Arrow, who hosted a regional last year.
You're talking about the 4 programs that have tremendous resources and have tremendous history too.
Yes, and they're all well coached.
Yeah,
every single one of those programs are well coached. And then you move into, now we have 2 teams that moved up from 5A that were state tournament teams 3 years in a row plus. So Piedmont, who was a state semifinalist multiple years in a row at the 5A level, and Bishop Kelly, who was a state semifinalist multiple years in a row at the 5A level. Now 5A and 6A are different, but they're still talented.
Yeah.
They're still really talented, both those teams. So now you go from those 6, then it's us. and then it's Capitol Hill. So 1 through 6 for us all have dudes that can go play, and it's it's probably one of the toughest districts I've ever seen.
I would say so.
Honest.
And if those 5A schools adapt to 6A
Absolutely.
well, it makes it even tougher.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the 6A realm, there's no days off.
Yeah,
right. There's never a Monday, Tuesday where you can really just show up and go, yeah, it's over. We've got this in the bag. It's always, all right, this is going to be a meat grinder. And especially when you go to the third places where you've got to get off the bus and be prepared and be ready. And they're throwing a kid like Bixby has the Jet Hope kid that's 90-92 that closed it out against us in regionals last year. Or BA's got a dude and Union's got a dude that all of them, I mean, everybody that, even us. I mean, Brody's 86-87. Brody's a legit arm. Brody, if we score runs for him and we take care of business, he's an all-state caliber pitcher. So if we help him out and then he hits for us, I mean, he is an all-state caliber pitcher. So, and then Aiden's a guy that can keep us in games and go win games. I mean, he's proven it. He pitches well against the big teams. So every single game is intense.
Well, and there's a strategy too because, let's say Bishop Kelly knows that they can't go and beat Bixby.
Yeah.
So they'll hold their best arm, and then you play them the next game, and then you get that best arm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a kind of a strategy because wins are at such a premium in a 6A district that you're like, okay, we want to go compete in this game, but we don't mind maybe giving that one up because this is the difference of us having a chance to go an extra round in the playoffs.
And wins, period. Last year, from a district standpoint, it was killer. But then I scheduled really, really tough.
Yeah,
which was good for us. And this year, I scheduled tough as well. But I didn't schedule as many state tournament teams as I did last year.
Right.
But we still have a really tough schedule. So it's sitting here saying, I have this many arms, and with the pitch count the way it is, I have to sit there and say, is it worth me burning him up here whenever I could have him on a Thursday or Friday? Is it worth me doing this to this and find ways? Because, in Texas, we'll use Texas for example. They play 2 games a week.
Right.
So they'll throw their one on Monday and their one on Friday. We go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday through Sunday, or Saturday. So we literally have, and so we'll play Bixby back-to-back nights, and then we'll go on Thursday through Saturday, and we'll go to the Enid Festival, and we'll play Yukon, Mustang, and Sand Springs.
Yeah, not to mention a rain out, and then all of a sudden a double header.
Everything's torn. Or like we're going through right now, where our facility, it's going to be awesome. It's being built, but at the same time, we're on the road all of March.
Yeah.
And so our first home game will be at Bricktown. And so, which is awesome.
It's cool, yeah.
But at the same time, you'd like to have some home games in there to where we've got to go on the road for 20-plus games or 15, 16 games, and you're sitting there, here we go.
Yeah. So we've gone through a little bit of some of the guys, but talk about your impact guys and your leaders for this squad this year.
And we mentioned Brody, and Brody is 86-87. He's a legit arm. He just recently signed a UCO, and he is a dude that is a 3-pitch mix and is coming off of some little arm surgery, but he's been feeling a lot better.
And I've watched him since freshman year, and he's got better and better with his command and speed, just gradually increasing over the years.
And on the mound, I'm telling you, there's not many better. There's not many better because he shut down Sand Springs, he shut down Broken Arrow.
When he's on, he's one of the best in the state.
When he's on, he's one of the best in the state. If he's mentally hooked up, he's the guy. And then at the plate, he's a game changer too. So we expect him to be that game changer for us in the middle, to where we need to find people to protect him and give him a chance. And so that's where Tegan Hodgson, a guy that's returned, caught 41 games, and he started a little bit as a sophomore, but he wasn't a catch guy then. So last year we didn't have a backup for him. And we're still trying to find that backup for him. But he caught 41 games and had to be our 3-4 hole with Brody. And so this year, we're kind of hoping to slide him in the leadoff, at least during scrimmage season, and see how he handles it because he's patient, because he's intelligent. Colton Jones hit 253, started in the center last year for us. Real smart baseball player. Bunt games always open. Just a baseball intelligence guy. And then Aiden, our lefty. I mean, the thing about Aiden is if you have an opportunity to pitch, he wants it. And so if he's never going to sit there and say, Coach, I'm tired, my arm hurts, I'm sore. He's going to sit there, hey, we need to win, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Coach, I got you. I mean, he had 16 appearances for us last year through 55 innings. He's our most inning guy because he just wants the baseball. He wants to win. And then there's some Titan, I think he's going to have a really big year. He's been working his tail off. I think he's going to have a good year. Isaiah's going to hopefully take the next step. Isaiah Brandstetter started as a freshman, 30 games for us at first last year. Kid that didn't get a lot of time last year, Callan Covey.
Okay.
He's a sophomore, and he has a chance to be a really good player because he works his tail off.
Well, that was the next question. The young guys, you talk about that sophomore class being a good one. Which guys are going to kind of plug in and be a big impact?
Callan Covey is a kid that's just really stuck out this fall. I mean, he's in the weight room getting after. He's put on 15 pounds since last year. He's just working his tail off. Comes up and hits early, hits late. And he's been swinging it. I mean, he's hitting the ball out of the ballpark a couple of times this fall. He's hit for the cycle this fall. I mean, he runs well, but defensively is where he's really grown. We've got Isaiah.
Yeah.
Lance Arbona threw about 17 innings for me last year. He's a wrestler, and he's probably going to be a state tournament wrestler.
Right.
But when he gets over here, we're hoping that he can catch up and be a backup catch guy for Teague. Give Teague a chance to go to the outfield, take a break on his legs, but also a pitch guy. And then maybe Lance can play second. We've got Dalton White's a junior, HD's a junior. Both those guys have been performing really well. HD started a lot for me last year. Dalton White's another guy that's just worked really hard. He's just tough. But from a sophomore standpoint, Lance Arbona, we got Logan Ross. He continues to get better. Blake Orozco, Cameron Schmidt. All those guys are continuing to get better.
All right, good
and
deal.
They're athletes, and they love the weight room. And that's been good for us is that we're young. We've got 18 sophomores. You know, Coach Ablett made a joke one day. He walked into the weight room. He's like, man, we're pretty little. And I looked at him and I said, Coach, our average age is 15.
Yeah. They haven't hit that growth spurt yet.
They haven't hit puberty yet. So you're just sitting there saying, hey, just wait, because they love the weight room.
Yeah.
They're going to get big by their juniors and senior years. Just wait. They're going to hit that spurt. But our sophomore class, we're excited about.
All right. Well, I'm excited about this season getting going. Like I said, going to be tough to catch home games early because you guys are going to have to go on the road.
Yeah.
But you will get some later this season and be able to host, and you'll have a bunch of them because there'll be some that are, I guess, due to you guys.
We're backloaded. Yeah. All of April, pretty much, unless it's a festival, we're at home. So, I mean, and then the districts, always Monday, Tuesday, you go home and home. But we'll have, PC West and all those teams that we play in March. They'll flip to us.
The first official game,
March
home
1st.
game, and first.
Oh, first official home game.
Yeah, it's Bricktown technically,
Bricktown,
right?
technically, but it'll be March 25th.
Yes.
March 26th against Bixby.
So March 1st, y'all go, where do y'all go?
At PCO.
So at PCO. And then Bixby, one of the top teams in the state, returning state champion in Bricktown on March 26th. And that's a pretty cool experience for your kids to get to play down there.
We'll have a good time. And we go down there on Friday night. Last year it was fun. We played Heritage Hall. Mm-hmm. They ended up beating us because we booted a couple balls. They had 4 unearned runs and we lost 4-1. But we go down there, spend the night, get the kids out of Ponca City, take them somewhere nice to eat. This year the kids are begging me, so I guess we're going to play Top Golf. So hopefully that doesn't affect our swings.
That's right, yeah.
But we're going to go play Top Golf and just kind of relax and enjoy that.
Yeah, if they start going like that instead of like that, you'll never be going to Top Golf again before a game.
No, we won't, for sure.
All right, well, Grant, really appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
Grant Middlebrooks, head coach of baseball, and that's going to do it for today's Coach's Corner. It's been brought to you by Martin, Jean, and Jackson, attorneys at law. Jordan Woodruff saying until next time, go Cats.